Hello everyone. Happy to be on stage here to discuss the AI transformation in the industry. And for that, to discuss this, we have an amazing panel. So thank you all of three for being here today. What a lineup, obviously. So when we discuss about AI transformation in the industry, it's quite a challenge. In fact, you have to take at least three key things in mind. First is you will need a significant upfront investment to transform your industry. So second thing would be you depend on the long life cycle of your industrial assets. And third but not least, you will impact a wide spectrum of collaborators, from the white collar in his office to the blue collar on the field, the technician worker. So there is a huge challenge, in fact, to transform, to reshape your industry thanks to AI. So my first question for you, Sébastien, would be, can you give us an overview of how Engie, as a global utility leader, approaches its AI transformation?
Thank you so much, Julien, and good morning, everyone. Super happy to share this with my colleagues here. So maybe for Engie, it's true that you pinpointed rightly that we are an industry based on physical assets, very diverse because we are, I would say, all around the world. And so we have also a lot of consumers. And so it's true that it's difficult at once to fix an ecosystem and a strategy for AI adoption. But against that, it's true that we are also collecting a lot of data. And so if you take this angle through the data part, then you can feel that we have something to do. For example, we operate and manage more than 3,000 sites, mostly generating sites, industrial sites. We are also delivering power and gas to more than 20 million B2C customers and 200,000 B2B customers. So you can feel the data, and more importantly, in power markets are basically, the prices are forming every 15 minutes in Europe or 5 minutes in the US. So the data collection that you need to embark, not speaking about weather data, is massive. And so we have taken this challenge from the data side. And so the approach for us is first and foremost data. So we have been starting from the digital side, so the tools. Now we want to start since a couple of years from the data side for what I was explaining before. And so the role of the function that I'm piloting today is really first on the alignment to make sure that from the XCOM to the business, I would say the data ownership and the business case around data are well thought through and then well equipped by the function. The second one, and we are going to blitz that, so to go very fast on that one, it takes a bit of time, but we have started. The second one is to force a little bit the business to go a bit deeper in what does it mean for them. For the business, you know, AI will change their processes, they change the business case, and often they look at it as an augmented part of what they are doing today. So basically what I'm doing today is going to be a bit better, a bit easier, a bit quicker, which is true, and it's good, it's productivity. But what we expect at XCOM is really to change some of the business processes. And for that, they need to accept to think about their business processes, think about their suppliers, what they're going to ask their suppliers for an equipment, for example. And that is more difficult, and that's my role also, to make sure that this adoption is really there. I'm stopping there because we have a lot of questions, but this is a little bit in a nutshell what we are going.
Thank you, Sébastien. So, Julien, considering the size and complexity of the SNCF group, what are your guiding principles with regard to AI transformations?
Good morning, everyone. Glad to be with you today and with my colleagues. Yes, we have been working with AI for many years at SNCF, and especially on predictive maintenance. But since 2023, we have structured our transition toward AI around a clear 4-pillar strategy, in fact. So the first one is governance and partnerships. So we coordinate AI governance for the whole group, all our companies, and invest in strong partnership with the French ecosystem especially. And I can give you 2 examples. The first one is since 2024, we had an academic chair with École Polytechnique on AI and industry. Since 2025, we have a formal agreement with Mistral. So that was the first pillar. The second pillar is AI for all and for all our employees. So we democratize access to AI through a secure tool, a SNCF GPT tool, and large scale-up training programs. We have more than 290,000 employees across worldwide. So it's a huge training programs. The third pillar is value creating. So we focus on the right topics, on the right use case to limit POCs and POCs and POCs, and we try to be very focused. So on strategic use case, on industrial side, information for passengers, and tool for our employees, and especially on knowledge management. The fourth pillar is ethical and responsible AI. Our work is fully aligned with regulations, European regulation, and we have also a strong social dialogue. It's important in the SNCF group, and we used to have this discussion about AI with our union, and it's structured since beginning of 2024. So that's the 4 pillars to embrace this technology at SNCF.
Thank you, Julien. And Frédéric, for the Renault Group, can you share with us the ambition of Renault and what are the key drivers for this AI transformation?
Yeah, thank you very much for the invitation. Happy to share this with my colleagues also. As you said, in SNCF, it's the same for Renault. We are using AI for more than 10 years now, especially machine learning, deep learning for quality checks, for predictive maintenance, for these kind of things. But from now 2 to 3 years, we decided to accelerate the transformation of the company based on AI. So we have defined 3 different axes. The first one is how we can use AI to improve our processes, the big processes of the companies, meaning development of a new car, building of new car, supply chain also, and of course, what is related to sales and after sales. So we are embedding AI technologies in all these processes. We have the governance linked to that to make sure that we dedicate money to do these investments, and we are bringing a lot of value for the company doing so. Almost several hundreds of million euros per year based on this. So this is the first axis. This is the easiest one because the technology is ready. It's very easy to include this kind of technology in our systems. The second axis is a little bit more tricky. It's about giving a turbo to our employees to be more efficient. So, you know, with the specific development of agentic AI, we are trying to give to our employees specific tools to be much more efficient, much more productive in their daily life. So, of course, it's very different from people doing controlling, from people doing development, from people building cars. So it's a set of very different agents that we need to develop and to provide to our employees. So this is the second axis. We just started that 1 year ago, so we are just at the beginning, and the technology is changing very quickly, so it's not so easy to follow. And the third one is probably the more difficult one, is to say that AI could also benefit to our customers. So we try to embed AI in our products, especially in our cars. You've probably seen with the launch of the last R5, the arrival of an avatar called Renault. So you can ask your car, hey Renault, do something for me. But we are just at the beginning, and this is very complex because you are here in a B2C environment, and the expectation from the customers are quite high because you are used to get this kind of services on your smartphone. So 3 axes: employees, processes, and customers.
Thank you, Frédéric. Yes, very insightful. And in fact, so you just mentioned that you've been doing AI for years, maybe even for decades. It's within the industry, but we keep hearing about failed projects, project not scaling or missing the business value. So, Frédéric, my question also would be, what are, according to you, the main challenges or barriers that prevent industrial firms from shifting from pilot to scale production system?
Well, there are several challenges. I think Sébastien talked about the first one, which is probably getting access to the data. If you don't have the right data, you won't be able to deploy any efficient AI system. So first thing is the data. This is something we started several years ago in Renault, building what we called a digital twin of the company. So we have in the cloud, in the public cloud, a full copy of what's happening at the physical level in Renault. Quite real time, not all the scope of Renault today, but we are working on it, but a big part of it, especially the industrial side. So this is the first topic, getting access to the data, to make sure that you you can feed your algorithm with the right information. Probably the second one is to have the skills, because you need to, this is a very new technology, so you need to be sure that you are able to manage it. Skills for the people that are developing AI, but also skills for the people that are using AI. So we have developed in Renault what we call the Renault University, where all Renault employees are following learning sessions to be used to do prompts and these kind of things. So at the, let's say, basic level. And probably the third one is a change management. Like always, when you're doing a transformation, you need to be sure that you are changing the processes. So you need to accompany all the different users of these technologies inside the company to make sure that they will benefit from AI. So we've set up a team of what we call AI catalysts. So these are people that are trained to go inside the different functions of the company to explain what they could do with AI to help them take the benefits of AI.
So local diffusion, in fact.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Okay. Thank you. Sébastien, at Engie, can you share also which kind of enablers you design, develop, deployed to secure the scale of your AI transformation?
So I will echo part of what Frédéric was saying. I think the first issue we encountered was really on the organization. And so we came from 2016, we had a full digital factory with technical people and the business a bit on the side. So now we have equipped since the last 2 years people, data scientists, people in the business. I think it's two in the box concept is really important. And beyond that, I think also you need to have an XCOM really aligned and pushing and understanding the minimum of what it is all about and the consequences and also the, I would say, the benefit of it. Otherwise, it's a little bit lost in translation. So that's the organization part. Second part really is about people. So we also have our own AI academy and also from basic prompting to a bit more, I would say, dedicated. We also have our own AI studio, so it is, I would say, to the benefit of everybody. Just as one example, we speak a lot about RAGs, you know, the smart database, and so now we are able to industrialize how we want to develop those RAGs to basically equip with vendors when they have a B2C client, for example, the chat box, and also to equip technicians. So they are not the same usage, but they are the same type of orchestration. And that is about training people and making sure that they adopt the right ecosystem. The third part I would mention adoption. So it's really echoing what Frédéric was saying. Adoption, I said it before, it takes a lot. Sometimes it's easy quickly because people see the benefit and it's augmenting their work, the task. Sometimes really when you talk about technician people on the field, maintaining a piece of equipment, yes, they can go and use the RAGs, but I mean, adoption and transformation is really not easy. It may sound easy in this room, in the corporate, but on the field with technicians, it's not easy, and for us, this is the main issue.
Thank you. And Julien, so for the SNCF group, can you share with us some lessons learned from successful AI implementation?
Yes, of course. Lessons from our implementations. To keep, the first one is probably to keep technological flexibility. It's moving fast. So we use a multi-provider approach. We used OpenAI, Anthropic, Mistral. We try a lot of solutions while keeping full control of sensitive data through, for example, our SNCF GPT. But I think at this time it's again key to keep a flexibility. This balance lets us to innovate fast, but without compromising sovereignty or resilience. So that's the first thing, to keep flexibility. The second things, like Renault, Engie, is similar in our big groups, it's to manage the adoption. So how we can create value with AI if it's not used, well used. So we really need to keep focus on this adoption. So we have trained and raised awareness among more than 35,000 people at this time at SNCF. So it's big deployment for us with like a university in order to train our employees and to give them concrete tools. It's the reason why we decide to develop in the first months SNCF GPT to give the tools to more than 100,000 employees. And today we've got around 25 active, very active users. So it's a way to deploy that through the company. Another lesson is maybe the governance by value, as I already said, to be focused, and also compliance. So we create a governance by value and compliance from day one. A committee, an AI committee for the group, and we prioritize use cases systematically by value, and then how we can integrate ethics, chart, code of conduct, training, and of course, for an industrial group like us, cybersecurity. So it's embedded in our compliance processes. And the last things, it's to be really focused on a truly transformative use cases and how we manage change with that. And we measure impact. We talk about data. We need to measure impacts and always to fine-tune our models. So we follow at the executive level of the group 10 use cases for SNCF, and we focus on that 10 transformative use cases for the group.
Thank you. So, in fact, the three of you discussed about training, empowering your collaborators, which is a key success factor for me. And I was wondering, because often when we talk about the industry, asset-intensive industry, we think about asset optimization. But we should not forget the human factor, which is really what you mentioned, in fact. I know that, so it's at the core of your strategy of AI transformation. And for instance, Julien, I don't know if you can share some key success factor to mention that, okay, this, we know that we are successful in this AI adoption because we have this key success factor and metrics.
I already gave some key points, but at SNCF, people are truly at the heart of the AI approach because it's a transformation, a change approach. So our vision is clear. It's a useful and inclusive and responsible AI that we want to share, that enhances skills without taking anything away from the real life. So we train and educate, and we invest a lot on that. All levels of the company, executive committee, managers, field staff, through our secure internal platform, as I already said. And in less than 2 years, it's more than 35,000 people who was trained. So the first thing. The second thing, I already mentioned it, but it's social dialogue. There is a strong social dialogue at SNCF, and it's key for us to keep that dialogues with unions. So we meet regularly our union organization to discuss impacts, share trends, share the news in technology, and address questions of reskilling and career transition toward digital professions. It's not new. We already have a significant digital journey behind us, more than 30 years that we deal with digital. We began with voyagesncf.com 30 years ago, but we need to continue to create new careers and what was the next chapter for our employees. And last things, ethics and responsibility, a guide on every deployment for our different use cases.
Yeah, and if I can add something, I think AI is exposed to everyone today. If you are using your smartphone, you have ChatGPT, you have Gemini, you have all these tools available for everyone. So you don't need so much to explain to people that you need to use AI every day, not only in your personal life, but also at business. So the question is more about giving the right tools to the people, doing learning, etc., these kind of things, and to make sure that they have the right tools. So people are asking how I should use AI in the company, not should I use it. So it's quite easy for us.
Thank you. And yes, I heard about social dialogue. In fact, if you are really providing this transformation, it's a good thing, and I think it's a good sign that you are transformative. So it's a positive in a way.
I think to complement on this, I think what is for the union part, because it's also at one of the core discussion we have having with them, is the fact that it's accelerating fast, and it's true that at least at Engie, I don't know for my colleagues, but it's difficult for people to keep pace with the novelty and what is on the market, and so of course they see their benefit when you are augmented in your task, augmented agent, augmented technicians. When you're in a power plant, you see alerts. You don't know you have to retrieve all the documents. Then it's chat box, and it's easy, it's safer. So we do a lot of benefit for them, and they accept it. And as Frédéric was saying, everybody's using it, so it's the new grammar of the world. So it's not a point, but the fact that it's changing so fast, and they see also in my function, coding is not anymore the thing. So people are a bit disrupted by the pace of it, and where does it go? What is the end game? What is after the end of the tunnel? What is it? So we understand what you are saying, guys, but what is it for me? And here, I mean, you need also, as top manager, you need to provide a vision that can be amended with the tech, but to reassure people that, I mean, at the end of the tunnel is not fully automatized and without any people. And that's something that manager will have to embark, not only in our function, but everywhere. In the business as a message to keep people, and because people will go where it's more attractive. So that's a big challenge.
Thank you, Sébastien. I like the idea of giving a vision and sharing the key message, because it's a nice transition for the last set of questions, because we see the AI acceleration, the eruption of agentic AI, generative AI, and obviously we are trying to envision what would be the future of the industry. So maybe a question for you, Frédéric. If you have to choose one or two game changers in the automotive industry, what would it be?
Well, I think that probably one question that is, a big part of our job today is, integrating all these systems together. We have Salesforce for finance, we have for sales, we have SAP for finance. We have a lot of different systems, plus our own developments. And our day life is to make sure that all these systems are talking together the right way, etc. And believe me, it's not easy when you have a landscape of 3,000 applications that you need to make sure they talk together. So maybe we could expect from AI the ability to facilitate this kind of integration, because we are using natural language, because we have this new kind of protocols, agent to agent, MCP, model context protocol, etc. We should expect that the integration of all these systems, because we'll have multiple AIs coming from everywhere, that this integration should be easiest than it is today. And this should save a lot of time for our teams, because really we are spending a lot of time today doing this integration. So probably we have an opportunity here. Let's make sure that the industry, I'm talking about the software industry here, is focusing on this, because it's very important for us. Otherwise, it will be very difficult to integrate all this new technology, because it's changing very quickly. And the second opportunity probably for us is around the way this technology is interacting with our employees. So you know, today we are developing interfaces. You have to go to your keyboard and do some things. With the prompts, we have now an opportunity to make it very different. And with the voice assistants, we can even go further. So for instance, in our shop floor today, our employees are able to talk directly to the machine and ask for some information, which is of course very important when you have to intervene very quickly in a breakdown in the shop floor, or these kind of things. So this is probably bringing new opportunities to be much more efficient in our daily business.
Thank you. And so Julien, same question, I mean, opening up to new perspective, the future of your industry?
It's a way to improve our core operations, so we can improve employer and customer safety. We can improve predictive maintenance, eliminating outages. We can improve the network reliability. For example, we are working a lot with video intelligence for our network. We can enhancing passenger information with real-time information, alerts, and as Frédéric said, there is a lot of improvement on the knowledge management. All our employees have to access to the knowledge to do some tasks on the network, on our stations, on our train, and an easier access to the knowledge is really key to improve our operations, and it's a big chapter for us on that part.
Thank you, Julien. And closing words, I guess, for Sébastien, if you have to pick one or two breakthroughs that will reshape the utilities industry, what would it be?
So energy industry is about real-time market. So at any given point, what I produce, the status of my power plants, and the consumption should be equal in power. So of course, there's a lot of climate change and different way to use energy and so on and so forth. And so the difficulty that we have today is that to connect the end part, which are the customers, and the physical part, the integration is not great. I also talk about the market, real-time market. So really, I think AI with the flow of data, the complexity, forecasting, for example, it's one of the first topic we tackled, and it's working quite well. So the forecasting capability for utility is a huge business driver. So this, I would say, forecasting and integration between the physical world and the end market is great. Ideally, I picture that we have a kind of platform where you go, either you're individual or you're B2B, you type who you are, if you are generating power from your solar cells or not, if you're in industrials, many sites, and so on and so forth, your processes. And then we are tackling all the external assumptions, like the weather, for instance, and others. And then we can track that with the physical world, which is today a little bit, I would say, interrupted by the market. So we sell to the market and then we buy back from the market. And so I think AI can handle this complexity. It's not for tomorrow, but I think it's the dream of my sector.
Thank you, Sébastien. Thank you for all of you. And any closing words that you want to share? No? Yeah, so we are good.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was a challenge.
Thank you.